So now the weekend comes around, the Tyson fight. Can you take me through that weekend?
Well, I'm already out there because I'm running about, I'm over all the, not over, but, I'm bigger than just Death Row in Suge Knight life at this time. I'm about Suge Knight entities and stuff like that. And so I was worrying about Club 662, which is, something outside of Death Row that Suge owns. And so I'm there making sure that it's going to be, and plus that's where the after party is going to be. Craig Mack was going to be performing. Tupac was going to be performing for some community service that most people don't know about. It was a boxing benefit for a retired police officer in Vegas. It was for his foundation or something like that, where Pac was getting some community service time because of the incident with the Hughes brothers, where he had to do some community service time in L.A. And so he was getting credit for that, so he wouldn't have to be working on the motherfucking freeways. Because I was like, I had to go testify before the court on that. Like, he can't be, this is a major superstar. He can't be working on the freeway. Y'all be having fucking, they were going to have him scheduled to be picking up trash on the freeway. And I had to say, come on, he can't do this. Y'all would have traffic jams. We would have major problems if Pac would have been, if y'all would have seen Pac on the side of the freeway picking up trash. That's what they were trying to do. And so they were like, okay. So we ended up getting it worked out where David Kenner did, where, we had some events, some special things that he had to do, stuff like that. So I went up there Friday night, making sure Club 662 was on deck. Pac and Suge and them drove up that Saturday. Danny Boy, Damon Thomas, he flipped over his Viper and tore up his car. That's the producer of The Underdog that, first married Kim Kardashian and all of that. The one that did the fight song. So it was a big entourage, plus all the homies and all of that. So they drove up that Saturday. They had a big fight. I think Danny Boy mentioned it on your channel.
Stopping in, I think in Barstow, if I'm not mistaken, some young guys said something to one of the guys in a restaurant when we did a pit stop for gas. And these young guys was on a football team. And they started talking shit. And Suge homies rolled their little ass up. Like, completely rolled them up. You seen little niggas in their jerseys going over there, being thrown back there.
It was a bunch of dudes
Well,
that they beat
it was
up?
a bunch of them. Every last one of them was getting tossed around in the parking lot, scraped up. And, we after that, we got back in the car and headed to Las Vegas. Didn't stop until we got here.
I don't think it was as big as he talked, how he made it seem. I didn't hear about it like that. But, they had some incidents where one of the dudes from Long Beach Poly football team or track team or something said something slick to Pac, and Pac, said something back to him or something like that. That's how I heard it. Danny Boy put like they beat him up real bad or something like that, but I never heard that. But anyway, so they had that at the In-N-Out in Barstow, California on the way out. They get there, and now it's chaotic because they got in, a little late, and Suge got his house, and everybody getting ready for the fight. And so one thing Pac was always mad about, because Suge be late everywhere. He's always late. And you remember back then, Mike Tyson fights were a minute and a half, if that. And so they will always be coming to try to get to the fight, walking in right when the big main event, and the fight will be over. So he mad. He like, I'm getting to the fight on time. He calling me, Reg, where's Suge at? Where's the tickets? What's going on? I'm tired of going to the fights late. And I'm trying to tell Suge, Suge being Suge. And so anyway, he gets mad. Pac jumps in the taxi cab, him and Frank, and goes over to MGM, which, a mile of that, from the Luxor Hotel to the MGM. Goes over there. and then so nobody really meets up, according to them, because now I'm at Club 662, until later, until after the fight, because it was one of those minute fights, 1 or 2 round fights. And then they meet up. By the time they all met up, is when Trevon comes over and say, hey, there's Baby Lane, the dude that tried to take my chain. Try to take my chain. Everybody keep that. You got to get that cleared up. Trevon didn't lose his chain. Even Keefe D admits that they didn't take the chain. For a minute he said they did, then he backtracked and said he didn't get the chain, which you can't believe a lot of stuff Keefe D said. But anyway, on the Vlad interview and in this book, well, I don't know what he said in this book because I didn't read this book, but Trevon, came over there and said to his big homies, which is Neckbone, Buntry.
So he didn't tell Pac.
He
just said it out in the open.
Said it out in the open. Pac, now we talked about earlier in the interview, being who he being. You either ride with me or you're not with me. Takes off.
Didn't say nothing to nobody?
Takes off. Ain't said nothing. And runs over there towards the guy. And started literally, hit him and he falls down. The homies doing what they supposed to do, takes off behind him. Run, and then they, stump him out. And then we know what happened later.
And you were at
still at Club 662.
662.
Nobody called us. James said, he saw the Southside Crips hanging outside the club for a little while, and he called Buntry and them and told them, hey. But that's not a big alert. If he would have called me and told me, I'd be like, yeah, there's some gangsters from Atlanta. Now, in fairness, he would have said, but we ain't got a problem with no gangsters from Atlanta or this place. We got problems from Southside, Compton Crips. But he said that he told them, alerted them that they were out there. But even if he would have called me, is my point, I would have shoved it off as like, okay, yeah, no problem.
Well, did the Southside and Mob, did they have, besides being Bloods and Crips and being natural enemies, were their hoods like beefing though?
I didn't know of it, but according to James now, who, I've been doing interviews and stuff on Gangster Chronicles. Make sure y'all check out Gangster Chronicles, who I've been working with on a podcast with. He said that there was a little beef and some back and forth going on. When I'm saying back and forth, I mean gunplay and all of that behind the Lakewood Mall incident regarding the chain. I never heard about it, but that's what James is exposing now.
Now Tupac is shot. What do you do when you hear about it?
Oh, when I heard about it, I was at the club. Matter of fact, Buntry and Neckbone came to me. I was at the door of the club, like, where everybody at? Where they at? Because now, for the first time, I got the shit playing right in the club. Because, man, that used to be chaotic because everybody, trying to get in. But now I got the crowd, the line control right. The club is, is popping and everything is ready. Like, where they at? I'm proud, that got everything on point, because I'm there now, to make sure everything is running the way I want it to run. A bunch of like, man, Suge and them must, down the street, they just got shot. It don't look good. Like, yeah, right, Buntry. Suge tripping because I wasn't with y'all, because I wasn't at the thing. No, Reg, seriously. But now, while I'm talking to Buntry and Neck, I'm seeing all these cops that I got working at, outside the club, like half of them taking off, flying down the street, code 3. So now I'm like saying to myself, damn, Buntry, saying, there's something going on. So now there was this attorney that was there that was helping, making sure everything was going smooth, who was in charge of making sure it was a benefit and all of that for Pac to get his credit for his, community service and all of that, named George Calise. He was there. And so he was Vegas Connect. I'm like, man, I'm hearing Pac and Suge just got shot. He's like, okay, he went and talked to the cops. Yeah, it's true. Let's go. They going to UMC. So me and him jump in the car and go to the hospital. So I get there. About an hour or two, I get back there to talk to Suge. Suge, what's going on? Oh, man. I'm not saying, but not telling me what happened, but yeah. Pac in bad shape. You know, yeah.